In this passage of the Gospel, the discourse of leave-taking of Jesus, Jesus says that he is going to the Father. He says that he will be with the Father, and that also he who believes in him will do the works that I do, and he will do things greater than these, because I go to the Father. And whatever he will ask in my name, I will do it, so that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you ask me anything in my name, I will do it. We can say that this passage of the Gospel of John is a declaration of the ascent to the Father. The Father was always present in the life of Jesus, and Jesus spoke about it. Jesus was praying to the Father. And so many times he was speaking about the Father who takes care of us in the same way as he takes care of the birds, all the lilies of the field. And when the disciples, when they asked him to teach them how to pray, Jesus taught them to pray to the Father, our Father. He always goes to the Father and returns to the Father. But in this passage, he is very strong. And also, it is as if he had opened the doors of the omnipotence of prayer. Because I am with the Father, you ask and I will make everything. But because the Father will do it with me. This confidence in the Father, which is capable of doing everything. This courage to pray, because in praying, he wants courage for us. He wants for us the same courage, the same frankness in preaching, the same. We think about our father Abraham, when he, I believe the term is bargaining with Jesus in order to save Sodom. And what if there were less and less and less? Indeed, he knew how to negotiate, but always with this courage. Pardon me, my Lord, but give me a discount, a little less, a little less. Always the courage of the struggle in prayer, because to pray is to struggle with God. And then Moses, the two times that the Lord would have wanted to destroy the people and to make him the head of another people, Moses said no. And he said no to the Father with courage. But if you go to pray this way, murmuring a timid prayer, this is a lack of respect. To pray is to go with Jesus to the Father, who will give you everything. Courage in prayer, frankness in prayer, the same that he wants for us in preaching. And we have heard in the first reading that conflict in the first years of the church, because the Christians of Greek origin were complaining, were murmuring. They were complaining already at that time. They were doing this. One sees that this is a habit in the church. They were complaining, murmuring, because their widows, their orphans, were not well taken care of. The apostles did not have time to do such things. And Peter, together with the apostles, illuminated by the Holy Spirit, invented, in a manner of speaking, the deacons. Let's do this. I just look for 7 men who are very good, and these men can then take care of this service. The deacon is the custodian of service in the church. And so the people who were right to complain may be well taken care of in their needs. And we, Peter says, we have heard it, and we will dedicate ourselves to prayer and to the preaching of the word. This is the task of the bishop, to pray and to preach. With this force that we have heard in the Gospel, the bishop is the first who goes to the Father with the confidence that Jesus, given with the courage, the boldness to fight for his people. The first task of a bishop is to pray. Peter had said this. And to us, prayer and the preaching of the word. I knew a priest, a holy and good parish priest, who, when he encountered a bishop, he greeted him well, very amiable, and always making the question, "Your Excellency, how many hours a day do you pray?" And he always said, because the first task is to pray, because it is the prayer of the head of the community, for the community, the intercession to the Father in order to guard the people. The prayer of the bishop, the first task, to pray. And the people, seeing the bishop praying, learns how to pray. Because the Holy Spirit teaches us that it is God who does things. We do very little. But it is He who makes things happen in the church, and the prayer is that which brings the church forward. And for this, the heads of the church, in a manner of speaking, the bishops, must go forward with prayer. That word of Peter is prophetic. Let the deacons do all these things. And so the people are well taken care of, and it solves problems and also their needs. But to us, the bishops, prayer and the preaching of the word. It is sad to see very good bishops, very good people, but distracted in so many things, financial matters, and this and that thing and that other thing. Prayer in the first place, then the other things. But when the other things take away the space for prayer, something is not working well. And prayer is strong for this that we have heard in the Gospel of Jesus. I go to the Father, and whatever you ask, and whatever you ask the Father in my name, I will do it in order that the Father may be glorified. This is how the church moves forward with prayer, the courage of prayer, because the church knows that without this assent to the Father, it cannot survive.